Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday event 1 in the morning at the Waterfront in San Diego, California. This is the part of the San Diego Orienteering Sprint Festival, 5-day event, a set of events for all 3 days on Memorial Weekend. So, as you can see, this is taking place in a pretty crowded area. It's like a park street type of spot with restaurants and walking paths along the ocean side. So, as you can see, coming into control number 1 right now, pace is pretty high. I did really well on this course. I got, I think, 4th place overall, or 3rd place. I think, yeah, it was 3rd place. 3rd place. I was only 2 minutes slower than Joe Barrett, which is really, really good, and 1 minute slower than Julian Oulet. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Both of them are really good runners. They're around like 22 years old, I think, but they're really fast. So, yeah, I had a good race. As you can see, I'm still trying to keep a pretty good pace, but avoid the crowds of people. So, coming into control number 2, right here, they hit it right behind the wall. Really good placement. Now, on to control number 3. The cars are blocking kind of the route that I was planning to take, but I managed to find a way to cut across the parking lot anyway. Now, trying to read the map, and it seemed like the control would be an easy one. Just run straight until you see a fence, basically. So, just running along the pavement right now. Maybe looking ahead at control number 4 to try and figure out how to get there, because I already basically have an idea of how I'm running to control number 3, that it shouldn't be that hard. So right now I'm planning my route to number 4. As you can see, from 3, the line extends up into the west or east part of the map, and you have to find a way to navigate in between those buildings at the top. If you can see, it's like a circular shaped square, you could say, with like a bunch of, as you will see later, like restaurants and those types of buildings. So yeah, this is the 3rd control right here. Now, initially I take off to the right, because I thought going right would be the better option. I don't know which one would be better, but a lot of people took right. I decided to go left, and I think that might have been a little faster, but it was about the same, probably. So, coming out of 3, making sure to keep contact with the map, because there's unmapped streets on my left. So if I go off the map, I'm going to be unable to relocate. So I am trying to make sure that I know where I am. There's a fence on the right and the tree. So cutting across the street, there's the tree on the right and the object, the water fountain, or I don't know what that was mapped as, a water object, but I'm not sure. Okay, now I turn left and I run along this outside part of the circular square. And I am planning to check off number 9 on the way to number 4 so that I know exactly where I am. So there is number 9, as you can see. I checked the code, and it is indeed number 9. So coming around all of the people, The lakes were a little confusing. I probably should have went right all the way, but I eventually figured it out. So coming around to the water, and now running along the pavement until I see the circular shape of the like bushes in front of me with the sign. So I go around to the left, and then I sprint this part because I can see that it is open area and I don't have to think much. I just have to run as fast as I can. And I knew this was a good race for me because right off the bat I had a good few controls and it really boosted my confidence. So right here, coming into 5. There's the control. Now to number 6. There are some other young competitors running the course. I would like to remind you that just for this event, they decided to make one course for everybody. But it turned out to be fine because some of the legs were challenging and some weren't. So it was a good mix, even for the young runners. So, trying to figure out how to cross the road because there's a bunch of traffic right here. So now I finally cross. And there is a lot of people in this area because it's like restaurants and bars and other interesting buildings. So, trying to figure out where to cut into for number 7. I decided to come in here. I probably should have went left and checked off number 8 on my way to 7. But that wasn't after that at this point, so. It wasn't the best route to number 7, but it was okay. Now, turning to 8. And basically backtracking the way I came. There were a few people that started before me. So, there they are. And I'm now catching up to them. So, there are the 2 canopies in the buildings. And then, for some reason, I thought Control 8 was a little bit further down. But it was actually, like, right here. I guess I was just running very fast, so I didn't notice how I came, like, right on it. It was a little tricky navigating this part because there were so many details on the map that you could miss a turn and get pretty confused very quickly. So here, like, something happened, and I almost went left, but then I realized my mistake, and I came back, and now I took a right turn early. Maybe because the people forced me to go right. Like, I didn't want to, like, cut right through the crowd. So I just ended up going right. But then I figured out where it was pretty quickly. So I found the control. And now 10 should be easy, just running to the edge of the square. The fountain right here. And there's the control. Another person from my club, LAOC, was just coming through. Probably just starting the course and running to number 4. But anyways, on to control number 11. Trying to avoid all the crowds. This was a interesting place. It was built like in the shape and the design of a mission. Now, moving on to number 12. And I decided to just do the same thing I did for 3, so running along the right side basically. I was surprised that not that many people ran off the map, because it seems like right here, like, there's a fence right in front of you. So it's, like, really easy to get sidetracked and, like, run on the street on the right there. You can see, because this is the parking lot, but the street isn't really mapped. So I would like the mapper to add the street there for, like, reference, because so that people don't get confused, because I felt like that could confuse a lot of people, since the parking lot is the, like, rightmost thing that is mapped. It just seemed weird. But anyways, on to control number 13. And this is basically, like, this was a really interesting sprint course, because you had to, in the beginning and the end, you just had to turn on the jets and go full sprint, and because you knew exactly where the controls were, and because they were easy to find. So this was one of those parts. But in the middle of the course, you had to actually be careful with your map and navigate through all those, like, little buildings. So this course was, like, one of those fun courses with a good combination of everything. I think the designers did a really good job of using the venue and the space that they had. It was I think it was one of my highlights of this weekend, was this event. Not only because I did good, which is also a plus, but it's also because this was a very exciting event, I think, for a lot of people, because it was one of the shortest races, I think, and it was just, like, really, it was easier than you thought. But in the sections that were more technical, you still had to use some of your technical navigating skills to navigate to the controls. Now, basically, I see the finish, and I'm sprinting towards the finish line. I believe I was the first finisher for this race, because after I finished, the course setter came up to me and said, can I take a picture of you finishing, because you were the first finisher? So I was like, if I was the first finisher, that means I did pretty good, right? So that's basically what happened. And that is it. If you enjoyed these videos, please subscribe.